Welcome to the 4th annual Happy Krampus special. We wish you a Merry Krampus. We wish you a Merry Krampus. We wish you a Merry Krampus and a Krampus New Year. It's Jim and the boys. No, I'm Bryce.
I'm Jim.
And that's Murray.
Yo.
And we are here for our 4th annual Happy Krampus special. I'm stoked. We got some movies to talk about. And it's time to feel the rage.
That's right. Whore, whore, whore. Happy Krampus to all who have been supporting us all year. If you love our independent podcast, please like, subscribe, share, and give us a 5-star rating on your listening platform. Or support us and join the Film Rage community by joining our membership at buymeacoffee.com/Film Rage YYC. If you cannot commit to a membership, you can still buy us a movie rental and dare us to see a terrible film, and we'll watch it if it's played anywhere in the world, including all 3 of these movies, which also played somewhere in the world. Now, let's get to Krampusin. Har, har, har.
Yes.
Thanks, Jim Bob.
All right.
Turn this music up, would you? Yes. Can we go louder? Can we make it one louder? Nice. Is everybody as Krampus filled as I am right now? Oh, yeah. I am so Krampus right now. So, as part of our annual tradition, unfortunately this year we do not have any guests. We put it out to you, our listeners, and we suggested, if anybody wanted to be on our show, let us know. And nobody did, so we're doing it alone. We're doing a little circle jerk here in front of our Krampus tree.
I think we're alone now. There doesn't seem to be anyone around.
So, like all Krampus episodes, we start off with a new release from the Christmas horror genre, and we got to see It's a Wonderful Knife.
Yeah.
Right?
It's a Wonderful Knife, which you can currently also see on Shudder.
Dum dum.
Stars, Joel McHale.
Joel McHale, Murray's favorite.
Yeah.
Do you love Joel McHale, Murray?
Really don't.
He's anti-Kale.
Why anti-Kale?
I think he's a giant dirtbag.
Wow.
There you go. You know what? As far as vegetables go, I also don't like kale.
I think kale's delicious.
Well, you're wrong.
Fortunately, this movie was not.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
You know that a movie's bad when Justin Long can't save it. Because Justin Long's great.
He saves everything.
He saves everything. Yeah, this was a silly movie. And that's fine if it's going to be funny, but it wasn't. And if you're going to make a Christmas horror movie, it should be at least a horror movie, which it wasn't.
What?
It was just bad.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I didn't like anybody in it. I didn't like the performances. I didn't like the kills. I thought it was very PG-13, which is fine. But if you're going to be PG-13, you have to be funny.
Oh, is that the rule
That's
now?
the rule. Well, if you're going to have a PG-13 horror movies, you got to have something. Because you can't have the gore, then you got to have the laughs.
See, I thought there was a bit of gore.
That's why Scream worked. There wasn't any gore.
What worked? Sorry.
Scream, the first one. I'm losing my voice.
Oh, right.
All right. Yeah, I don't know what's happened to my voice, but
Apparently it's gone.
at any rate.
Was there anything more you wanted to say about this one?
No, it was a rage.
Oh.
It was a terrible movie.
Okay.
I hated it.
You hated it. Okay, well, let me tell you what I thought of it. Well, Bryce finds a lozenge, maybe? I don't know. It's a Wonderful Knife on Shudder. Dum dum.
Dum dum.
I think one of the songs in this kind of sums it up pretty good. Murray, can we get a little bit of a little drop down in the music and crank me up here?
There was that too.
Yeah. Because there is a lot of Christmas and a lot of murder, but not nearly enough Justin Long. Sorry, the mesmerizing Justin Long.
He was still the most mesmerizing thing in this movie.
You get on the poster, but you don't get the screen time.
Why is this still playing?
I don't know. This has all the great things you want in a slasher. Homage to a classic Christmas movie, including but not limited to references to the original. Plus, it's kind of doing a parent-trapped version of It's a Wonderful Life. Right? It's a Wonderful Life.
Sure.
This has some pretty violent murders, and the story ideas is fun, but the comedy points hit not so well. The story has all the typical teenage tropes because it's a story based in high schooler universe. So you get the jocks, the cool kids, and of course the weirdo, which is kind of the traditional high school universe, which also makes the story a little bit predictable. And just like most slashers, they're predictable. Any high school universe films, you just seem to have not only the tropes, but also this fantastic predictability that we get. And also, just like most slashers, it's fun to scream at the screen, "Don't be stupid!" or "Run faster!" or "Kill your dad!" etc. I don't want to give away too many spoilers, but they throw in a little bit of a red herring that is also so predictable. But the kills are fun, and we got just enough Justin Long, and even though there was no angel named Clarence in this, the weirdo who takes their place of the role of Clarence did a pretty good job. And a pretty good job of helping our heroine to learn the value of maybe it's whoever murders the murderer has a value and should never wish to have never been born, because murdering murderers is a good thing. Is that the moral, Murray?
Sure.
Bryce, what do you think? Is that a pretty good moral?
That's not a moral.
Sounds like it. I didn't love the ending part. That kind of wraps this up, but this is a film that still gets a meh, Christmas, Panderverse, meh.
It was terrible.
I wish it had less story and more murder, but for a slasher Christmas film, I don't know, I thought it was worth the watch. But if your favorite film that happens to take place in Christmas time is A Wonderful Life, you maybe like it a little more. I'm not sure. What do you think, Mur?
Well, Justin Long was awesome.
He was.
I loved him being bad because
Yes.
he had this whole Donald Trump thing going on with the with the bad hair and the too much tanning
Spray. Yep.
and just being just an asshole the whole movie. And he doesn't usually do that. Usually he's a nice guy.
Yeah, he plays that kind of awkward nice guy.
Yeah, no, he's always been like the nerdy, lovable guy. And
Yeah.
the last two movies I've seen him in, he hasn't been that. So
Well, he's had been stretching his acting chops a little.
I wish I could say the same for the rest of the movie.
What, Murray?
I appreciate the fact they actually didn't shy away from the violence. 'Cause
Yeah, I thought the violence was pretty good. I don't know
as
what
I
Bryce was
keep
talking
saying,
about.
PG horror movies are horrible, and I hate watching them. At least this
Preach
one,
on, Murray.
At least this one, even if the story obviously wasn't that great, I did enjoy the kills
Yeah, kills were good.
when they
No,
happened.
they weren't.
And weirdo was weird.
Yeah, she was weird. She was awesome.
I liked her.
And the whole lesbian love angle was interesting.
Yeah,
No, not really.
was kind of sprinkled in for
Sprinkled
Panderverse.
Yeah, the whole Panderverse.
The Panderverse hits a little bit.
Exactly. And I'm probably one of the few people on the planet who didn't like It's a Wonderful Life.
What?
I don't. That's one of the few Christmas movies I don't like. I don't know. Because because it's depressing for 3/4 of the movie.
Yes,
and
that's why
at
it's
the
so
end-
good.
That's why it's so good.
That's why
It brings you down, but then it lifts you.
See, I don't
It
like
lifts
movies
you
that
up.
bring me down.
But it doesn't. It lifts you up at the end, Dory.
Yeah, well,
But it was down for a lot of the movie.
It's down for a lot of the
it's
movie.
got if it's down for a lot of the movie, that's what makes it
No,
up so effective.
I enjoy Christmas movies that are uplifting the whole way
Hallmark.
through.
no,
Hallmark.
No, not
sugary
Hallmark.
sweet is not the
Yes.
way to go.
Yes.
Yuck.
Yeah.
Yuck.
But don't you like Ernest Saves Christmas? Because Ernest Saves
Exactly.
Christmas.
Ernest Saves
There was some
Christmas.
down in.
There's
there was
some
down.
there's a lot of down
There's
in it.
not
That's
that
what
much
makes
down
it.
in
Yeah,
it.
there was.
Because Ernest is always up. That's,
Well,
that's the point.
Ernest
Everybody
is-
around,
Ernest is
everybody
a
else
positive
around him
dude.
may be jerks, but Ernest is always Ernest.
All right.
No, I just can't give it anything more than a rage.
All right. Double rage here. We got a rage sandwich. No, we got a meh sandwich with some rage bread.
Mmm.
Ho, hor, hor.
Mmm.
All right. We also got to see, for our Krampus movie this year,
Mm.
in fondo el bosco, or as known in English, deep in the woods.
That's incorrect. It's actually deep in the wood, Jim.
Oh, there's not plurally woods. It's just a wood.
Yeah.
All right. Fantastic.
Aren't you glad that I corrected you on
Yeah,
that?
well, now I know, because I thought it was deep in the
And
woods.
knowing half the battle. I'm losing
Knowing
my
is
voice
half
again.
knowing is half the battle. It's true. If you have a Krampus festival in your town, and then Krampus does what he does best, take children, is this really Krampus's fault? You're literally asking Krampus to show up to steal your children, right?
True.
Well, according to this film, no, it isn't his fault. It's his father's fault. And not just because he is suspicious, but because they showed the father as a total dick for the entire movie.
Was he?
Pretty
There he
much,
was.
yeah.
I don't understand that. Well, I didn't watch the same movie. I didn't think he was a total dick.
Yeah, he was a total dick for pretty
Well,
much
let's
the whole
see,
movie.
5 minutes in, he basically pushed his own kid down on the ground and told him to
Eh,
F
he had a
off.
few.
Yeah, well,
He was a dick for the whole
basically
movie.
didn't want anything to do with his kids.
That's right. So he basically gave the kid to Krampus.
His fault. The kid ran away and
He
got.
loved his
That's
kid.
right,
killed
and
or
got
whatever.
Krampused.
Ah,
So
you guys watch different movies.
who brings a 4-year-old, obviously naughty, because this kid was a little brat, to a festival where Krampus is hanging out? I mean, really? Again, Krampus is the victim here. And here comes a bit of a spoiler, so get ready for this if you haven't seen this movie. On top of that, every single person in the town kills this kid at least once.
Yes.
Where I was
Or
expecting
think they
Krampus to be the evil one, but I think Krampus came to see how evil one town could truly be. Although Krampus plays sort of a small part in this film, he is by far the victim and also the hero of this tale. This, I'm going to call it in quotes,
Victim
Krampus universe film is not ultimately much about our sovereign lord of evil. It's about a town that lives with the lore of Krampus, and apparently a lot of kids in Europe die every minute, but not by Krampus, unfortunately. This was a really fun little mystery that happens to take place in a town by a Krampus festival, where apparently a lot of fathers get drunk and lose their kids.
Yep.
Or, if that's not what's happening, the kids get killed by townfolk because they're all fucking idiots. I really, really liked this movie. I thought it was great. It was good. A lot of good. It was meh.
Nice. What'd you think, Mar?
This was not a Krampus movie.
What?
Yeah, I don't know. Krampus was in there right at the beginning.
It was idiot adults dressed up in costumes.
Oh, yeah.
See, the definition of Krampus
But that's most of
is
these
this evil Christmas spirit who punishes naughty children. That's the problem I have right there.
What?
The children were not the naughty ones. It was the parents. If Krampus had come back to exact revenge and killed the asshole parents and all the other adults,
Assholes.
then I would have actually enjoyed this. And as far as I can tell, nobody actually died in this movie. There was no carnage. There was no slicing open of organs. There was nothing that is supposed to be a Krampus movie.
No, just
Except for the
good,
kids.
Good
Just
storytelling.
90 minutes of boring ass crap.
What?
Where at the end, this person actually was the person at fault. Yeah, it was a rage. I hated it.
In fondo el bosco.
Whatever. And it has subtitles.
Yeah.
I hate subtitles.
You know what? This was a really well-developed, character-driven movie. You got to know every single character.
Yeah.
You got to know their motivations. The twist caught me off guard. I did not see it coming. The fact that we had all these red herrings and they were all effective in my eyes.
Yep.
This was some superior writing. It was the second best Krampus movie that's ever been made.
That we've seen so far.
The acting was tremendous. Even the little kid I liked.
Yeah. Because you know what? He's not an American kid.
Yeah, and
So the hope of him being a good actor
I don't know
is
what
pretty
you're
good.
talking about. I thought he wasn't the worst father ever. Why is everybody piling on the father?
He was
the
terrible.
mother was terrible.
What are you talking about? She was a drug
She
addict.
was horrible.
Every adult in this movie was
Well,
terrible.
they were not very
Pretty
good
much
adults.
everybody in this town was
It
terrible.
painted this town with a pretty negative brush.
That's
for
right.
Sure.
Krampus should be coming here is what I'm hearing.
But yeah, no, I actually enjoyed this a lot. Not to the point where it's Mondo,
Yeah.
but it was close.
It was
'Cause
very
I
close.
Really,
it was very
liked it.
close for me
Because
too.
it was such a well-made movie too. I mean, this wasn't something that was just slapped together. This was
Yeah.
this was a good.
This was a
movie.
good mystery, actually.
was a very good mystery.
It was, and you know, actually, what I think I liked about the end is because you still don't know
Yeah,
if
there's
Krampus
question
is
mark.
part of this or not.
Well, I don't know about that, but
I don't know.
anyways, this was.
He did a bunch of stuff that was pretty Krampusy before
Yes.
they got to the part where you don't know whether he's Krampus or not.
And at the end of the day, in Fondo El Bosco, deep in the wood, is a meh. It's a high meh. I really quite enjoyed it.
I also
Would have enjoyed it
quite
more
enjoyed
if towards the end I didn't get like 9 phone calls and people pounding on my door.
Excuse us for wanting to actually do the podcast.
Yeah, exactly. Or how about the
Maybe-
person knows we're coming over?
Maybe someone
In
should have
fact,
watched this movie
Yeah.
right before.
Exactly.
Whatever.
You had 6 days.
That's
dude.
right. He only had he had a lot longer than that.
I've got
Days.
Whatever.
I've got stuff on my plate, man.
Yeah, huge.
Yeah, 'cause the
huge
rest
things
of us
on his
don't.
plate.
Yes.
Yeah, none of us have anything.
I live a big life.
Unfortunately, we know your life. It's not that big. But you
It's
know what I want to say? This is a hashtag Team Krampus film for sure.
Yeah.
All right. So
Krampus.
we, so far, can I just do a little bit of a recap here? Because usually we have one designated rage film. But this year, we got It's a Wonderful Knife, which got 2 rages and a meh. We got El Fondo El Bosco, which got a meh, another meh, and a rage.
Yes.
And now we have our chosen rage Krampus film of the year,
Yes.
The Mean One.
The mean one.
All right, Murr, take it away.
Do I have to?
Yes.
It's the Grinch. If you've seen the cartoon or the Jim Carrey film, this is the exact same plot except with killing.
There you go.
Basically, there's this creature
That's the
up
point,
on
yeah.
the mountain
That
who
looks like
hates
the
Christmas,
Grinch.
except instead of just hating Christmas,
He's the mean
he
one.
kills everybody who even talks about Christmas.
Has Christmas
Yes.
a part of it. And he's got super good hearing because it doesn't matter where in the
Yeah.
town you are.
And the lead character, who, as Jim said, is a little short on looks, obviously is a former
You guys are so
UFC
focused on her look. She was
He's
a
obviously a
very
former
pretty young lady.
He's
I don't
obviously
know
a
what your
former
problem
UFC
is.
fighter who doesn't know how to act. Because she had some guns, but yeah, she wasn't much in the acting category.
Yeah, she had both kinds of guns.
Yeah.
There you go. I don't know what that means, but
So yeah, short and sweet. I hated this.
you hated this?
As someone who loves Christmas movies and especially likes The Grinch,
Which one?
both, but
All right.
especially the Ron Howard directed one, as you know, my favorite director.
Yes.
This was a
What?
complete insult to me.
Oh.
I hated every minute of this except for maybe the 5 minutes where the mean one was killing all those Santas because they were all assholes anyway. That was a good scene in the diner. But the rest of it, yeah, no, I hated it.
So,
Rage.
okay, so are you a Jim Carrey fan?
He didn't used to be.
Okay, that's what I thought. I was thinking.
I didn't like him in the early. I didn't like when he was being over the top ridiculous.
So the mask
Like
type stuff.
Ace Ventura, but when he actually
Like the Grinch.
when he actually developed some acting skills, I started to.
Well, he
later
always
years-
had acting
Not in
skills.
the early days. He didn't.
Oh, he sure did.
He was
goofball.
smoking.
It's like your precious Adam Sandler.
Yes.
When Adam Sandler actually takes himself seriously, apparently he can act.
He can act.
Most of the time, he's a doofus.
Yeah, he's terrible.
Yeah,
Same thing
he's
with
got
Jim-
range.
same thing
No,
with-
he's
same
got
thing
no.
with Jim Carrey.
He's got
Anyway.
dramatic range.
No,
he has
this-
zero comedic talent.
That's
This
not
movie
true.
almost ruined my Christmas spirit. Almost. So there. But yeah, I hated it. It was
Nice. All right.
Continue.
So that's one rage. Bryce, what did you think of The Mean One?
I thought the mean one. I think the entire film was shot in CGI, which was
This is the
which
first
usually,
time we've
which
ever
would usually
seen.
be a rage for
For
me.
about
But
$20,000, I'm sure.
whatever.
How
There
much
was
of
some
a
money
budget?
put into this sucker,
Not a lot.
man.
Maybe the kill scenes, that's about it.
I'm telling you. Ow! Sorry, Baxter just bit my toe.
That was the mean one right there.
But yes, the mean one. It had. It had a certain something. I actually liked it from the first get go because immediately we get Malcolm McDowell doing the voiceover.
Not
No,
Malcolm McDowell.
wasn't-
It
Malcolm
was
McDowell.
totally Malcolm McDowell.
No.
I'm pretty sure
As
it was
I
Malcolm.
explained,
If it
the
wasn't
guy,
Malcolm
the guy
McDowell,
was doing an imitation of Anthony Hopkins from the movie.
No,
no, it
he
was Malcolm
he was
McDowell
not
doing an
Malcolm
imitation of
McDowell.
Boris
Anthony
Karloff.
Hopkins.
No, it was Malcolm McDowell doing an impression of Anthony Hopkins doing Boris Karloff.
Anyways,
And it was
he
a terrible narration.
It was great narration with great rhyming. I loved it. It was
It was a Mondo?
No. There was a lot of scenes that kind of threw me off with the lighting. The lighting wasn't spectacular. For some reason, randomly smoke would be like put into a scene, and it wouldn't even have to be outside. It could be inside, or so. Sometimes you think, well, is it fog?
smoke.
Is it smoke? But I don't know what was going on inside when all of a sudden it was like smoky. Anytime there was Christmas lights, you get lines across the screen because they couldn't
Filter that out.
They couldn't
Filter
filter
on the camera.
Yeah, it was an interestingly shot movie, and I think it added to the enjoyment of the movie. Sometimes you get these movies that are so bad that you enjoy them, and this is one of them. I can't rage against this movie because I was enjoying myself the entire way through. There wasn't one time where I'm like, oh God, this scene is going too long.
It's because you
Or-
guys were doing running commentary. The whole
I
movie.
know, and it was almost as entertaining as what was going on the screen.
It's probably a little bit more entertaining.
I don't
to
know.
be
This
quite
was
honest.
pretty good. I enjoyed much of this, and as far as the actual mean one, or the Grinch, although it wasn't the Grinch because that's
Legally, they
trademarked.
can't call him that.
Yeah. But the mean one, it does look like they may have found a dumpster outside the back of the Grinch lot and got the head of the Jim Carrey, the prosthetics that Jim Carrey
It
had,
was decent makeup.
because it
I'll
looked
give you
very
that.
similar, only
No, that's the
slightly
whole
meaner.
point.
And the CGI was terrible. The dialogue was terrible.
Yep.
The story was terrible. And I really enjoyed myself. This was a meh.
All right, well,
It was fun.
I'm calling
There's no
it-
way this wasn't fun.
I'm calling it Monster Smoke, Home Alone ending.
Yeah, and there was Home Alone.
Boris McDowell
There's even a little
narrator.
Jurassic Park in there too.
Yes.
A Beachcomber's Dr. Zeus.
It was a spoof on
Dr.
everything.
Zeus,
Dr.
Candy
Zeus.
Cane Arsenal, CGI blood,
Yes.
fire, hairpiece, and pretty much everything. Flashbacks, training montages, plural.
Yes.
The most idiotic dialogue, story, and acting by absolutely every single
Yes.
person in this movie.
So good.
And a terrible, terrible, terrible Hallmark ending. And oh yeah, I think it was shot on a video recorder.
The Hallmark
put
ending
from
made it better.
The video recorder that
Super
was
VHS.
transposed into CGI green screen.
Yes.
There was not one thing good about this movie. It was so completely awful.
It was so fun.
Now, here's the differentiating factor I'm going to say. Did I have fun watching this? Yes, because the three of us watched it together, and it was a fun time. The movie is completely awful. There's not one redeeming quality of the entire movie. They throw in like random Jewish things that have absolutely make no sense in
That's
the
what
entire
makes
movie.
it good.
No, there's nothing good about. There is zero good about this, other than the time watching it with you two. That was fun. But the movie is terrible. It's not even so bad it's terrible. It's just really, 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 really terrible. But it was fun.
This was the second best movie we watched. This was so much better than It's a Wonderful Knife. I
No.
mean, it's not even close.
No.
This was 10 times better.
You know, the only thing that I can say about this episode
Yes.
is that the greatest thing about it is that this was a Murray full-on rage episode.
Nice.
That's because, unlike you two, I happen to love Christmas.
Yeah, Christmas.
That is true.
And you guys apparently are
I don't
against
hate
it.
Christmas. I
Yeah,
just, it's
you
like,
do.
whatever.
We
You
worship
do.
Krampus. What
Yeah.
are you talking
Exactly.
about?
Happy Krampus.
Happy Krampus.
Not saying, I mean, my favorite movie, one of my favorite movies last year, was a Christmas horror movie,
It was a Christmas horror
Violent
movie.
Night, which I still love.
That's right.
Because it was Santa kicking ass. That was different.
And punching dicks.
yeah. But,
Yeah.
I don't really enjoy Christmas horror.
That's
I think I love Christmas horror. Black Christmas
know
in
you do.
particular.
Black Christmas is excellent.
1974 Black Christmas.
Let's be
That's
specific.
Very specific. And,
'Cause
and
there's
just
two-
so people
the newest one wasn't terrible, but the one in the middle
was super terrible.
was super terrible.
But the other thing about that, just so we get this out of the way, every single person that's a slasher lover and likes to take claim of the first slasher movie is Halloween is completely wrong
No, it was
because
Black
the
Christmas.
Canadian Black Christmas, or as we like to say, Krampus, is the very first slasher that's ever been made.
Yep.
It's also the best slasher that's ever been made.
It's up there.
No, it is number one
Okay.
by far. There's nothing better.
Okay.
So good. Andrea Martin. Who would've
Andrea
thought?
Martin's great.
Andrea Martin killed in a horror movie.
Yes.
Is that
Hello,
that reason?
Margot
alone?
Kidder.
Yeah, Margot Kidder.
Margot
Also,
Kidder is hilarious.
She
in it. Oh
is
my
a
God.
hoot.
Who of
She
Canadian,
just chews
cinema.
up the scenery like you wouldn't believe in
That's
that
right.
movie.
This is
Yeah.
before Superman. This is
Yeah.
like
Oh,
her
she
early
was so
days.
good.
this movie was super, man.
Exactly.
It was Superman.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I watched it again. I got halfway through it, and then it's like, yeah. Okay,
What?
I'm
What are you
over it.
talking about?
How do you start that movie and not finish it?
I just didn't.
It's like
I watched.
it's like
halfway through.
masturbating. Like you can't start.
Yeah,
and
you
not
don't start
finish,
masturbating
and then
without
finishing.
a payoff,
That's right.
without a money shot.
You guys are obsessed.
You can't open up like a bag of delicious,
Cheesies?
no.
Vegan cheesies?
No, let me see. Sweet chili heat Doritos. You open a bag of those, you pop one in your mouth. You're not stopping halfway
What?
through.
At
You're
one?
eating the whole bag.
That's true.
That's what Black Christmas is.
It is. It's
Or
a
if you
sweet
like
chili
Sweet cheese Doritos.
Yeah.
Or if you can't do spicy,
And if
like
Hostess
me, you wouldn't even open the
Hostess
bag.
Frito-Lay is listening,
don't you do
feel
the
free to send me some.
sponsor us?
So,
Yeah.
sponsor us.
Not you, sponsor us.
Yeah, just send me some Doritos.
Okay.
But only the sweet chili heat because I don't do the milk products.
Yeah, is that the only one that doesn't have milk?
That's the only one.
All
that
right.
doesn't
Well,
have milk.
you can send us all, Murray and I, all
Then
of the
you will
milk
ne-
products.
Never see me eating that one. Then.
All right. Well, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Temperature rising. Vision blurring. Rage taking over. Temperature rising.
Oops.
Let roll again.
No, roll again.
Let's keep it rolling.
It's making me work.
Just put it on loop.
And we got the merman
Well,
music.
because I don't have a rage.
All right. Well, we're keeping this
so-
music.
so-
This is our music for Rage
So
Christmas.
I got to do some work today, apparently.
Apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He came as prepared as Bryce, apparently.
At least I printed off the agenda. He didn't even do that.
It's true.
I know, because he's got it right now. I don't even know what's happening.
I didn't
anymore.
even know we were doing an episode today.
Yeah, I'm keeping this short. I don't like Christmas horror movies.
Oh, I thought you were going to say I don't like Christmas. I was going to go, what?
That's my rage. I hate when they destroy classic Christmas movies that I happen to love by bastardizing them into horror films. If you want to do a horror film, make it original.
That's a good idea.
Don't just take like the mean one that we just saw.
Yep.
Oh, that was so good though.
It's the plot of the Grinch.
Yes.
Yes.
Everything about it is
With a
the
little-
Grinch.
with a little
They just can't
Jurassic
actually say
Park
the word
and Home
Grinch, but
Alone
everything-
thrown in.
Everything else in the movie was Grinch. They just couldn't say the word Grinch.
I know, which made it funny. That whole scene in the
No.
diner when they
Yeah.
That was funny.
That was
So
hilarious.
yeah, no, that's my big rage. I love Christmas and bah humbug.
There you go. I love it.
interesting.
Yeah.
That's Jim's music.
Because it's a rage.
Yeah,
Like I said, you're making me work today.
that's right. We are making it today, including getting him to read the agenda, which you would have seen. It's reversed. Oh, my sweet, sweet rage, how I love you so. You know what? I'm going to take a counterpoint to Murray's point about Christmas horror movies. I kind of wish the only movies that were Christmas that came out were Christmas horror movies. I hate every single Christmas movie, pretty much, that's ever been made, except for Bankin' and Rass. No, Rass and Bankin'. No, Bankin' and Rat. No, Bass and Rankin animated
Yes.
films. That's the one. Bankin' Rass.
Rankin Bass.
Isn't that
Yeah,
a fishing
that's
company?
them. No, that's like Bass
To make
Bass
fishing
Pro
gear?
Shops.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Rankin and Bass are the ones that made Frosty the Snowman and with
Rudolph
the
the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
abominable snowman and
really do that.
and all the amazing shows that I grew up with watching every Christmas,
Mm-hmm.
which they're a little bit twisted, and they had some really cool stuff like gay elves and a bunch of stuff like that. It was awesome.
Yeah, he was pretty gay.
He was super gay, and that's what made it so good. I mean, they got Rudolph, who's a player. They got gay elf. They got, who wants to be a dentist of all things. They got Yukon Cornelius, who's freaking awesome,
Yeah.
right? That's my only
Don't
Christmas
disagree.
movies I like. Christmas horror movies, and every Hallmark fucking movie where it's everybody's happy and not gay, but happy. They're just, Christmas movies. I hate them all. Every single one.
I should show you the Mad TV versions
Well, that might be okay.
because it combines your two loves. It's the animation from Rudolph and Frosty,
Nice.
but it's horror movies.
Nice.
And in the Mad TV versions, Yukon Cornelius or whatever,
Cornelius.
he's a mob guy
Nice.
and he kills people mafia style.
Okay, well, now that's what all I want to watch for Christmas.
And
this year.
Hermie is like the mob boss.
Nice.
So yeah, it's on YouTube. I'm sure you can find it. But those were hilarious. But they're like 10 minutes each, so they are just short enough.
I'll
to
just watch
enjoy.
all of them.
But
Take
yeah,
me all
that's
Christmas.
That's basically you would enjoy those.
I'm on it.
There you go.
Yeah, I mean, Christmas. That's my rage.
Your rage.
All about everything to do with
I don't
Christmas?
I don't like the fact that everybody feels the need that they have to lavish with each other with gifts. I don't like the fact that we waste ridiculous amount of electricity by lighting up our houses for no reason. I don't like the fact that everybody's stupid at the malls, and
That is true.
I don't like the fact that even though it's supposed to be the season of giving, that it doesn't seem to be that way. It's
Yeah.
more about the getting. I don't like the fact that there are movies that come out that are just horrible. I don't like the fact that the W Network or Hallmark or any of those can literally run 6, 7, 10 years worth of movies straight of Christmas garbage without taking a break. You wouldn't have to repeat
And
them
it's
at
the
all.
exact same
And
movie.
it's the same generic garbage over and over and over again. I don't like any of it.
Is there any one thing that you like about Christmas? I know this is your rage, but is there anything that you like about Christmas?
I like the rare occasions
Okay, I'm listening.
when families actually get together
That
and
is a
spend
good-
some time together.
That's awesome. And friends.
and friends. And sometimes for families though, sometimes that's the only time that they can spend together is
Yeah.
Christmas, because people get it off and they can
Yeah.
go. So that's nice. That's the nice thing about Christmas.
That is a good thing about Christmas. You know
The
what? That's
rest
what
you can
Christmas
have.
should be about. And here's the thing. I think I'm going to throw that out there into the universe and see what comes back at us and me in particular, is that I think Christmas is a time of year that people could celebrate as a time to get together, because even people of all religion. I mean,
no
the
matter what
Christmas
your
that we
beliefs
have right
are,
now, it's not about the birth of Jesus. It's about
And really,
getting together as friends and family.
and that ship has sailed. I mean,
Let's face it.
do we really need to?
Yeah, we don't want to go down that road.
Whatever.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think I've seen any. I've seen Coke commercials with Santa more than I see anything about Jesus.
You don't see Jesus knocking back a Coke Zero.
Although that would be a commercial I'd want to see.
Maybe he should.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean,
You know what? I have a feeling if Jesus was around.
don't get me wrong. I mean, the Jesus Christmas carols outnumber the Santa ones like 1,000,000 to 2. But
True, but they're not ones that we listen to. So,
No.
I'm what I would say is if Jesus was around right now, I would say he would drink Dr. Pepper Zero.
maybe. Yeah, he looks like he drink Dr. Pepper because I think he kind of looks like he takes care of himself.
Sandals. He's got sandals.
He's not drinking a lot of sugar with that physique.
Yeah, exactly. What do you think, Mer? What's
Sure.
Jesus' drink of choice?
It used to be wine.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, too
He
much
did
sugar
used to
in
turn
wine.
a lot of water into.
Well, he turned water into wine, but
Yeah.
yeah.
I bet he was dehydrated.
I don't think
a lot.
he wasn't like knocking it back though.
Yeah, maybe he wasn't even drinking.
I don't
Maybe
think
he was just
drinking
giving it away to
No,
friends.
he's
That was
like,
the
"Here."
first Christmas present.
So here, have some wine. We'll get you a little drunk.
Ho ho ho!
Now believe in Jesus.
Now, thank you God for that wine.
Rage subsiding. Pulse slowing. Anger fading.
All right. This is a reminder that we will be back in the new year, and our very first episode of the year will be our Mondo 10 and Rage 5 for 2023. You'll be getting the Film Rage Film Awards for the year, as well as every single movie that we saw between now, when this comes out before Christmas, and everything up into the new year. So it could be a 72-hour episode. Just be ready.
There's a
for
lot
it.
of movies coming out.
There's a lot of movies, and we're going to see them all.
We're gonna try.
Try every inch
Yes.
to see them all. So get ready for that. Now, have a happy Krampus or Christmas, if that's your choice to celebrate. Every single person that listens to us, we thank you so much. And thanks to the extended Film Rage family, who you can find in our show notes. Find us on social media everywhere at Film Rage YYC. Check out everything Film Rage at filmrageyyc.com, including our merch site for Redbubble and TeePublic. We're always wanting to make this a raging blast for all listeners, so please comment, like, and subscribe, and send us an email to filmragecalgary@gmail.com. Dare us to see terrible movies to fuel our rage, but no matter what you do, enjoy your Krampus, enjoy your Christmas, Hanukkah, all the things you want to celebrate, but just do it with your friends and family. Now, please, please, please make us rage. That's it for this entire year. Rage on!
Rage on.